most businesses don't really care about traffic. They want those conversions, those leads, those sales, phone calls. AI platforms, a lot of the LLMs kind of lock you in there, just like social media. They don't really want you to leave social media. There's lots of ways to build backlinks. There's too many strategies, but it's all about quality over quantity. Well, a new way that I've been doing it recently is the podcasting. And if they have a website, then I get a backlink from their website.
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to your show, E-Coffee with Experts. This is your host, Ranmay here. And today we have Brandon, who is the founder and CEO of SEO Optimizers with us. This man needs no introduction, by the way. Hey, Brandon, how is it going?
I'm doing well. Excited to be on this show.
Lovely. Brandon, before we move any forward and pick your brains on AI and ChatGPT and all the other LLMs, why don't you take us back? Talk us through your journey a bit, how it all started. How did you land up in the SEO landscape? And you have been through enough summers and winters now. You have seen quite a few Google updates and the AI storm, right? So talk us through your journey a bit and also about SEO Optimizers. I mean, what you guys do, what are your core offerings, and we'll take it off from there.
My name is Brandon Leibowitz, and I fell into the world of digital marketing in 2007, planning on it. I got my degree in business marketing. So I wanted to do something with marketing. 2007 is when I graduated, and one of the first jobs I got out of school that I was offered was helping a company out with their SEO and digital marketing, which they don't really teach you that in school. Well, maybe nowadays, hopefully they do a little bit, but back then there weren't really any official classes at the university. So I told the company this and they said, don't worry, we're new to this as well. And we're going to learn with you and take you to classes and workshops and seminars. And after I went to a couple of these seminars, a lot of these speakers would speak saying like, hey, I do affiliate marketing. I have 10 different websites. I do drop shipping and all this stuff. And it made me think like I could work full time at this company and maybe I could do like a little side hustle where I look at affiliate marketing or drop shipping or even try to get some of my own freelance clients. And I realized as long as I'm not competing with this company that I'm working for, I could find other industries. And as long as there's no conflict, they didn't mind because I'm learning more on my own now after work and before work and on my lunch breaks. I'm working on my clients and it's all going to help them out. And I was doing that for a while, working at different advertising agencies and before work, after work, and my lunch breaks, I'd work on my own company and eventually was able to build that up to where I was able to quit my job and been helping people tap into that free traffic from Google ever since. But SEO gets you traffic. And I realized most businesses don't really care about traffic. They want those conversions, those leads, those sales, phone calls. Nowadays, try to look more holistically and help out with more than just SEO. Look at Google ads, trying to help out with like remarketing, trying to keep yourself top of mind and having those touch points. Even if you do get a visitor to your website and they leave that bounce rate, then we could still try to get them back into your funnel through email and retargeting and social media and just trying to make sure that you're not just getting traffic, but that traffic is actually going to convert. That's really the main focus nowadays is wherever people are searching, especially with the AI now, doesn't matter if you're searching on Google or Bing or DuckDuckGo or ChatGPT or Perplexity or even Yelp or YouTube, just trying to make sure that you get that visibility when people are searching.
Right. And then you have named quite a few platforms now, which kind of gets me to think about all this AI storm, which happened some time back, but last 6 months, it has actually skyrocketed. So how do you think, AI is reshaping SEO search in 2025?
It is definitely putting a curveball on everything. And now we just got to figure out what's going to happen, which platform are people going to use or stick with, or once the dust settles, is ChatGPT going to be at the top or Gemini, or are people just going to do AI mode, or what's going to happen? And right now it's just kind of like that wild, wild west where it's so new and so much competition and it's just shifting and evolving so quickly that it's tough to really see what's going to happen. But most likely people are going to start using AI more and more and get away from traditional search because AI gives you that answer. You can engage with it. It's kind of like a featured snippet that Google was putting out back in like 2011 or 13 is when they started these featured snippets where they would just show you the answer at the top of the search results. But now you could respond back and engage with it and ask it questions, which is much, much different. It's not just that static one-way sided. Now you can engage, and that's just changing everything. And we're going to have to see what happens because also AI platforms, a lot of the LLMs kind of lock you in there, just like social media. They don't really want you to leave social media. They don't really want you to leave these platforms for the time being, they'll have links, but they're very small. And
Mhm.
it's just, yeah, we're just reshaping everything, just trying to figure out what's happening now, working more on like entities and brand mentions and just trying to make Google and the LLMs happy now.
Absolutely. And talking about competitive niches, you have ranked clients in like really competitive spaces. So what is the single most underrated ranking factor, businesses are still kind of missing out on?
There are lots of ranking factors that have big impact. I mean, one of the ones I see commonly is just
Mhm.
not having enough pages, not breaking out your website into more pages and really hyper focusing on a specific keyword versus just making it general. One of my clients, they're a dentist, and they would just have a page on the website saying, we're a dentist and here's all the services that we do. We need to break all those services out into their own pages. And that way, because if someone's searching for teeth whitening and you just mention on the service page, there's so much other services that are on that page. If someone's searching for teeth whitening, they're going to have to dig through that page and find it versus you make a standalone page about that keyword, then you become even more relevant and just working on also like topical authority because making that one standalone page is great. But if you could have some blogs and some articles that support it and all interlinked together, that really helps out. But that content, just breaking out those services into multiple pages. I see too many time and time again that most websites, they don't want to do that because they don't want to have a cluttered website. But I tell people like it's really good for user experience. And my own
Mhm.
website, I have over 200 pages about different services I offer, which seems like a lot, but it's like I could get very granular and break them all down into like someone looking for link building. I need a page about link building. I can't just lump it into off page SEO because it could mean so many other things that go into it. So building those pages out, building that website out, and really thinking about the structure, the hierarchy, and how you connect all those pages as well together.
Since you mentioned about link building, how do you think a brand, let's say enterprise level brand, should mix up in terms of strategy, doing traditional guest posts or let's say link building, and also adding data driven digital PR to kind of get the brand authority going?
No, that is the best. It's kind of like SEO. I kind of tell most of my clients is like we're doing digital PR, but we're just trying to get Google to see that you're published on all these different places. And there's lots of ways to build backlinks. There's too many strategies, but it's all about quality over quantity. And I like
Mhm.
to first start by using tools to look at my competitors' backlinks and seeing who's linking out to the competition and try to see like, are they writing articles, blogs? Are they getting interviewed? Are they doing guest podcasts or
Yeah.
what are they doing? So you can kind of reverse engineer their strategy and picking and choosing the backlinks that are relevant and have authority, not just going for everything. But then
Mhm.
from there, you're gonna be like, all right, I've gone through my competitors' backlinks. I was able to get maybe 10 or 20% of those links. You're not gonna get everything.
Yeah.
Now what do I do? And that's where you gotta think outside the box and try to get creative and figure out ways because guest posting is fine as long as you're getting on real good quality websites, but it's
Yes.
tough
Absolutely.
nowadays and there's so much spam and
Yeah.
PBNs and it's tough to weed through all that. But if you get on real good quality websites that have a phone number, have an address, not just these blog websites, that's gonna help move the needle. And I would do press releases in the past, but sometimes they're okay. But I mean, nowadays I feel like unless you do it through a real good wire distribution, you're just going to get on the same websites that everyone else is on. And a
Yes.
lot of them get devalued or they're on like subdomains or no index pages. So it's like people get
Mhm.
these reports saying like, oh, look at all these places I'm listed, but Google's not able to see most of those. Or I look a year later and like 80% of those sites are down or those pages are gone, quality over quantity. And if you could do real PR, like reaching out to journalists, or if you have connections, like
Yes.
I'm in Los Angeles, if I have connections at the LA Times, not for a lot of industries, but for one or two writers. And if someone's in my niche that I know can be in there, then I can reach out to that journalist and try to pitch them. And that's going to get me much better quality backlinks than just kind of going through some general wire and paying $100 to get on all these different websites.
Yeah.
So always quality over quantity with those backlinks nowadays.
Absolutely. It is more about doing the right thing the right way with some strategy put into it, right? I mean, for example, these sites, and like you mentioned, the ratio of inbound versus outbound links. So if a particular site is just giving out links to everyone in your niche, then you're not creating that, differentiator to actually help you kind of stay ahead of the curve, right? So yeah, I mean, like you said, link building can be done multiple ways. Everyone has their own strategy, but you really need to dive deep to make it work, right?
And that's why, well, a new way that I've been doing it recently is the podcasting and guest podcasting.
Yes.
I have my own podcast, which is great.
Yeah,
And it gets you some backlinks from all the different spot or
absolutely.
platforms. But when I'm a guest on other people's podcasts, if they have a website, then I get a backlink from their website. And like with the guest posts, especially now with AI, I feel like most that stuff is going to go away because if I'm pitching you, hey, I have this article for you, you're gonna be like, well, yeah, I could most of the stuff is now written by AI. I mean, I try to have people edit it, tweak it
Mm.
because AI is not accurate, but I feel like most of the content nowadays that's being pitched is going to be AI and it's going to just be that endless cycle of AI is going to be learning from the AI articles that people are pitching and guest posting, or I mean, guest podcasting is a lot different. It puts a face behind the company or that person, and it really helps build a lot of trust and gets you a lot of extra value besides just that SEO backlink. It gets you content for social media, can help you become a subject matter expert because now you're showing people that you know what you're talking about. And I like that one too. But it's all about just getting creative and looking at your competitors. And sometimes you're like, wow, I've never thought of this strategy. And that's a great way that I can actually get some extra backlinks. And you never know
Absolutely,
what you're going to
absolutely.
find.
And you spoke about podcasting, Brandon. You also have yours, and you have attended, I don't know, 300 plus podcasts now. So how do you leverage thought leadership as a strategic marketing tool? Do you advise it to your clients, and do you kind of then narrow it down as to what they should be doing, not doing, and stuff like that?
Yep. So try to give them different options. Say like, hey, I'd love for you to be on these podcasts if you're open to it. Not everyone wants to be on film or video, or not everyone wants to be answering questions. So I'd say maybe half of my clients are open to podcasts. I feel like more
Mhm.
and more will soon because it's growing and growing so much. But
Yeah.
I just gotta kind of deal with what they're looking for or deal with what they're comfortable with. Some are just like, I don't even have any time to be on the podcast. I have no time at all. So like, all right, well, skip that strategy out and let's go on to the next one and just customize it to whatever's gonna work best for that client.
Absolutely. Talking a bit about your own journey, Brandon, wherein you started as a freelancer, and had started out as taking up projects and became visible once your clients became visible, right, with your SEO results, and then went full into it, right? So for our listeners today, if they're trying to start their own agency or, trying to embark on their own entrepreneurial journey, what is that piece of advice you'd want to give to them?
I would say patience is invaluable. And a lot of people
10
just think,
years? It took 10 years for you to start your own, I mean, formulate your own agency from being a freelancer?
yeah, but that one I was more happy just to graduate from university and get a job out of school and pay back some bills. And then I was like, hey, if I could get one extra client or one client, that's just going to help me just make a little bit of extra side hustle. And did that for a while where I was like, I'll take like one or two clients because I was working full time and I didn't think too much about starting my SEO agency as like my full time job. I was like, I'll
Okay.
just kind of see what's going on and I'll keep it on the side. And then after doing that for a while, I was like, maybe I should really go all in on this because I'm building it up now and I'm getting a little too busy and I could see it just growing exponentially and I could make more than I'm doing at these advertising agencies. Even though I'm the director of SEO, there's only so much of a limit that you could hit. And ever since I was younger, I always knew that I wanted to have my own business in the future. When I was in high school, I started a clothing company for skateboarding and did that for a while and was able to get into all these skateboarding shops and had it pretty big around my where I lived in the town. Then I went to college and I kind of focused on school instead of the company. I should have done both, but I always knew I wanted to do something. Then once I got into digital, I realized, hey, I could be a digital marketer and build my own side businesses and was dabbling around with like the skateboarding company a little bit more after graduating and just kind of bouncing around, but then realized everyone's going to have a website. SEO is free traffic. And I
Yeah.
feel like this SEO thing is probably a better strategy. And I like helping businesses and watching them grow and watching them get to that next level. So that kept me going with the SEO. And 10 years ago, I was like, let's just really go all in and push it. And that's what got me to,
Sorry, I got you off the topic. My idea of mentioning 10 years was to kind of, then the patience that you had to kind of build
mm,
your own thing. So, yeah, let's get back to the patience
sorry.
thing for our young listeners who are trying to start their own entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the patience is good because if I just jump ship right away after I got my first
Yeah.
job, I might have been fine. But if I did that and then in 2020, the whole world shut down and I'm like, wait, like I had half my clients that were local businesses that just had to completely shut down. So by me building it up, I was able to not just kind of be like in the rush area of just like worrying about what to do next. I had enough clients where I was able to stay and be sustainable. A lot of people do jump ship right away, but it's just a lot of stress on you because everything is on you now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize how much goes into being a business owner. You have to do a lot of different hats and a lot of different tasks that
Yeah.
not only are for SEO, but figure out how to run your business, how to do operations and financing and accounting, and it just keeps going on and on. And if you just slowly work it and build it up, that's going to get you a nice foundation. That way you don't have to worry about all that stress on you because you don't
Yeah.
know what's going to happen in the future. And if you just put all your eggs in one basket, it might be good and it might work out, but it also might not work out. And it's better to be a little bit, I'd say, play it safe. And all this stuff does take time. Some people just go viral and just immediately just shoot up, but usually you
Yeah.
have to work and build it up. And over time, you're going to see your self moving up, getting more traffic, more clients, more business. And then you can start scaling and thinking about next steps. And
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, as a business owner, initially, when you're starting out, we realize that you're selling and delivering, right? So there is no front end, back end teams or mechanism there, right? Like you said, I mean, you're doing accounts, you're hiring, you're trying to build a culture, you're trying to recruit the right set of people, training. I mean, technically, you're doing everything actually. You're, wearing all the possible hats that you need to build an organization, right? So yeah. And then, you know what? After a certain level, you should then learn or understand how to delegate in order to be that man to kind of then, grow the business and run the show.
that is a tough part for a lot of people is the
Yeah.
letting go and delegating. But that is one thing that's going to help you move up much, much higher
Yeah.
and much quicker is once you let go of some of these tasks that you're not an expert in and just let it go to someone that knows what they're doing because that's going to save you so much time. Time is money and you're going to have to pay these people, but then you're going to be able to, as long as you do the cost value analysis and like, how much am I going to pay them, but how much time is it going to save me that I could work on my own business. And then maybe I could get more clients that will be able to pay this off twofold or threefold. So it's really looking at those numbers and looking at your time because there's only 24 hours in the day. And I wish there was double. I wish I could clone myself because there's just so much to do, but not enough time. And that's where that delegation helps me be able to focus on the more important things and give off those less important things. And making SOPs and processes and standardizing everything has made it much easier to then pass on those tasks to somebody else, making video recordings, whatever you need to do, but just letting go, which is so tough for a business owner because it's like, this is your baby. You don't want to let it go, but you have to slowly let it go and monitor it. Don't just let it go and not monitor it, but letting it go is going to help you then grow yourself.
Absolutely. Great, yeah, Brandon. This has been a brilliant conversation. And I mean, as expected, right? So, but before we let you go, I'd like to play a quick rapid fire with you. I hope you're game for it.
Yeah, no, sounds good.
All right. Your last Google search.
I was probably looking at, well, one of my clients was trying to embed Eventbrite on their website so we could track how many people buy tickets. I was searching actually a couple hours or right before this about how to embed Eventbrite and sync it up to make a custom thank you page. So a little complicated. Might have to jump into AI a little bit to help out with it, but
Yeah.
that was Google.
All right. Your first paycheck of your life, Brandon. What did you do with it?
First paycheck, trying to think, actually an extra on movies and TV shows when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So probably when I was like 10 years old, I was like a background actor in shows because growing up in Los Angeles, they're always looking for extras.
Hmm.
I believe, yeah, I'm not too sure what I got with that first check, but I remember probably one of my second or like a fourth or fifth one of those. I think I bought probably like candy and maybe a skateboard or something like that. But that was when I was like 13 or something. It was a long, long time ago.
Okay. All right. Your celebrity crush.
So that is a tough one. Say maybe like Salma Hayek. I live in Venice Beach, so
Oh,
try to
wow.
get down to the beach often to get that work-life balance and disconnect from that computer screen because
Yes.
I'm so close and the ocean is so nice and it's the best way to relax and decompress and get into some nature. And you have to have that work-life balance because sometimes I'll just be stuck on my computer for like 14 hours. I'm like, no, 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 I got to get away from it because my eyes
Absolutely.
are just tired. And it's so nice to get that fresh air and hanging out with friends or family down there on the beach.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Will not hold you back any longer on a Friday afternoon, right? But yeah, I mean, this has been a great conversation, man. Thank you so much for taking out time to do this with us. And for our audiences, if they want to reach out to you, how would they do that?
I actually created a special gift for everybody. If they go to my website, they can find that at SEOoptimizers.com/gift. They can find that gift there along with my contact information and classes I've done. I've thrown up for free so they could see step by step how to do a lot of stuff that we talked about. And also, if they do have a website and they want me to check it out from an SEO point of view, they could book some time on my calendar for free there as well.
Brilliant. Thank you, Brandon. Cheers.
Thanks.